Hello everybody, I'm here for the Hammer Game Channel. Welcome back to Kaiserredux and to a new playthrough where we're going to be playing as, well, as you can tell from the thumbnail, and everything else really, the United States of America. And we are going to be keeping around President Herbert Hoover for his third term. Yeah, he's not a great president right now. He's unpopular. For one, people do not like him. So we can actually avoid the Civil War, which is a big win, a massive win. I keep forgetting how massive the trees are on Kaiserredux. So yeah, 4 more years. So introduction event has been received. Right, that's cool because we need to have this bill pass. Let's just go ahead and get the usual start for research started. Get superior firepower, electronic mechanical engineering, basic machine tools, and last but not least, construction 1. And for the time being, we will just queue up construction of civilian factories. Why am I going in there? Get rid of you. Get rid of you. We actually start with 19 factories. It's pretty decent. Yeah, we'll set it like that. We have 41 dockyards to get sorted as well, so dreadnought hulls. Oh my days, how many navies do we need? We don't have any chromium. That's fine, we'll get that traded in from South Africa, I think. Actually, no, let's not go for cruisers, let's go for light ships, that's what we're wanting. Improve submarines? Probably spend far too much time sorting out the navy, but it's going to be very useful for us. There we go, we are a lot of chromium short actually. We'll go with 3 for the time being. I still want factories to be building, so right, there we go, there's the introductory event gone. So let's reintroduce the Garner-Wagner Bill. Well, originally vetoed in 1932, the economic situation in America has deteriorated to the point where unemployment relief efforts are seen as the only way to prevent widespread collapse. President Hoover has indicated to the Democrats in Congress that this time he will not veto the Garner-Wagner Relief Bill. With assurances made by President Hoover that, unlike in 1932, this time that he will not veto the bill. Democratic Senator Robert Wagner and Speaker of the House John Nance Garner have reintroduced their unemployment relief legislation packet, meaning Congress feel that the package does not go nearly far enough, while others wonder how America, in the midst of a massive economic crisis, will possibly ever pay for it. The President's senators from the AFP and SPA also complicates things immensely. Even with Hoover's pledge, it's unknown if Garner-Wagner has a real chance of passing. Well, it has to pass, and there's fruits of the open door from the legation cities. Crime sweeps the nation. Let's increase the FBI funding. So, the one thing I love about Kaiserredux is I expect that the challenges to Garner-Wagner will come from the AFP and SPA. Huey Long and his AFP senators have demanded a vast increase in the social security provisions the bill provides, provisions most other senators say America could never afford. Bill Haywood and the SPA, meanwhile, say that the bill doesn't do enough to protect the average worker, particularly from exploitation by struggling corporations. Both parties have attracted a lot of media attention, adding to the general sense of disorder and tension in the Congress. Great. So yeah, as I was saying there, the one thing I absolutely love about Kaiserredux is the fact that it does have little path guides which tell you exactly how to do things. So, to elect Hoover, we need to have the bill pass. Then, when the event fires before the elections, to nominate Landon or Curtis for party lead, choose Curtis. Then concerns over Curtis' health can be raised, and if pressed, Hoover can be nominated instead. Right. That's obviously task number 1, is getting Herbert to actually pass this bill. Eugene template flips. Old Democratic Party gains political power. Good for them. Good for them. Hopefully we'll be able to deal with the negatives that are currently hindering the Hoover's modifiers. After weeks of negotiation, a number of establishment senators have broken rank of the coming vote of the Gardner-Wagner bill. Notably, Robert Wagner, one of the bill's opposers, says he will not vote for the bill unless protections for federal unemployment insurance are re-added. Many of the Democratic and Republican senators are concerned at the influence of the AFP and SPA and claim they will not vote for the bill if any concession are made to either group. Others say that not quoting either the AFP or SPA will make passage difficult, if not impossible. President Hoover will need to intervene in order to save. We're going to go with that and hope that RNG works in our favour. If not, it's a fresh start. And yay, the stock market crash. Yay, Black Monday hits America. Woohoo, more negatives. It's not like we're completely ruined already. We've reacted with fury at President Hoover's endorsement of the established senators. Crap, we've lost our chromium. National unity. Yeah, we're going to endorse the agreement. Paramilitary growth. Charles Conlin's radio broadcast. As always, I'm just going to say no. I hate it when he says it, but I defend the right to say it. Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Nanjing's getting backed by the Marshal. Roy Chaplin's dead. The death bias, the Pope is dead. Oh, you son of a gun. And there we go. I just made a compromise with the AFP, and then we got victory in it, so that's good. I didn't even have to start completely from the start. All I did was load the autosave. So, the bill passes. The Gardner-Wagner bill has been passed. This is good news for America's economy, though now we must find ways to fund the bill, or the good news isn't going to last. That's done. So the Hocking Plan. German Democratic senators propose a plan which would see the Gardner-Wagner bill funded by increased corporate income taxes. The plan is controversial with some, but it just might give the economy the boost it needs. A nationalist revolution in Cuba. A group of nationalists, the Authentico movement, has overthrown the Cuban government after weeks of strikes and protests by socialist sympathizers destabilized the old regime. While they have yet to move against their interests in Cuba, their rhetoric is firmly anti-American. Oh, we need to protect the interests of Guantanamo Bay. Republican nomination disagreement. So the Republican Party is united in its goal to save America and preserve liberal democracy, but as per usual, disagreement has arisen over whether a member of the party's progressive or conservative wing will be the president to oversee this. Representing the party's moderate conservatives is Charles Curtis, Vice President of the United States, who is well renowned for his negotiating abilities amongst politicians, given him a moderate appeal that crosses party lines. Yes, we need to back Curtis, if I'm just going to 100% make sure. Yes, it is indeed backing Curtis time. I'm interested to see what's going to happen in Cuba. Huey Long speaks. Good for him. It's not going to matter anyways, because we're not going to have a civil war. Curtis' health brought into question. While the Republican National Convention has not yet occurred, some of the leaders of the Republican Party are fearful that they will lose the upcoming election due to the bad health of Charles Curtis. The Liberal wing of the party is pushing to switch Curtis for Landon and to distance ourselves from the old guard. Meanwhile, a group of conservative Republicans are pushing both Hoover and the Republican leadership to run the president again in the upcoming election. At least the Republican Party are still willing to stick with Curtis despite the health concerns, but these whispers must be addressed if he wants to become the next president. Oh, we need expertise, we need experience, we need to draft Hoover. Boom. Right. So now we just need to elect him when the time comes, I think. And if President Hoover can be nominated instead, then just elect him. Good. And then completing the left side of the focus tree as soon as possible is what we need to do. When we start Hoover's third term. St. Patrick's Day flood. Yes, we must help the people. Not barbarians, after all. Help them. What's next? We need to kickstart heavy industry. Oh, the Ohio scandal. Yeah, we'll denounce the madmen. We need to kickstart the heavy industry in America's heartlands, where the Great Depression... Oh. I swear Pius had already died. Oh well. Cuba seizes American plantations. Embargo and support opposition. Hell yeah, we will. The Hocking Plan. Right, let's start this one. Democratic Senator Thomas Hocking has introduced a bill which will see the relief efforts largely funded by taxing American corporations in exchange for hefty tax considerations down the line, once the economy is recovered. This has caused considerably controversy in some corners, especially among AFP and SPA supporters. Others say it would be far too easy for the next government to reverse the decision, leaving the corporations on the back and even worse off than they were before. Regardless, there is enough support to see the bill passed, and as an added bonus, the agency to coordinate the efforts could be placed in either Minneapolis or in Charlotte, which will added bonus of new employment, weakening what are AFP and SPA strongholds. Yeah, we'll base it in Minneapolis. And the 1936 Stanley Cup. Well, the Toronto Maple and the Toronto. I was going to say Maple Leafs. That's not them. Toronto's won it. God damn it. Jess Smith's died. Progressive nomination. We're going to send the FBI. Oswald Mosley's been announced as chairman. It doesn't really matter here. Lindbergh. Poland falls to syndicalism. Felix. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. A victory for the people. John F. McKay. Yep, let us intervene there. I love how that just... Oh yes, the police were at the fault. I love how me having 5 divisions and just telling Panama, no, they back down. Hell yeah. Nominating Quentin Roosevelt. Panama has backed down. Good. A. Mitchell Palmer dies. Union Sindicalista achieves Italian majority. Yeah, of course I'll help Liberia. They are going to remain our puppet, I hope, so we'll go ahead and help them out. A failed assassination attempt. Blink an egg. Right, let's do the shipyard funding scheme. 2 major shipbuilding companies are vying for federal relief funding. The one we select could mean a large number of new jobs in the region. The trouble is, which one do we focus on? As an offshoot of the Hocking Plan, relief efforts will see new industrial growth in several vital areas, primarily in the military sector. Several of these new companies have planned for Denver, Colorado. At least one other area can be promoted, and Cabinet believes that putting them in the depressed areas, which are currently strongholds of the AFP or SPA, may see their influence in those areas drastically weakened. Yes, let's go to Tennessee. Herbert Hoover re-nominated. A massive rally in Sacramento, leading members of the Republican Party, which is Herbert Hoover, came out to accept his nomination as a Republican presidential candidate. This massive rally has not received the attention it deserves, given its size, but its minor coverage by the press as a whole has come as a result of the view that his rivals, Garner and Norris, are the leading figures in the race. Oh, the Far Eastern Republic is now totalist. Good for you. And who's... Oh. Eurasianism. Did I say that correctly? The Russian Democratic Federative Republic merges Union Eurasian Republics and changes the Eurasian focus tree. Okay, Russia. Gets the event Earth. Okay. Pass the act. Hopefully this will give us some sympathy. We'll pass it. Oh. Felix Yusupov. He's an autocratic charmer. Increasing radicalism. Fantastic. That's exactly what we're wanting. Manuel Carles has full control of Argentina and a great heat wave of 36. Rally the workers. Nope, Edward's smoking a pipe. Coup d'etat in Siam, which is obviously going to lead to a civil war. Oh my days, the Red Summer. Shipyard funding. The Hocking Plan has led to 2 major shipbuilding companies vying for a federal contract, one in New York City and the other in Corpus Christi. Hope I said that right. Both would mean a large number of jobs for the area and would be a boon for our control of the region. Let's go to New York. Indiana is quickly descended into one of the most quarrelsome states in the Union, with both the Socialists and Old Democrats having a foothold there. Politicians travelling with bodyguards, vandalism at enemy headquarters, and the occasional missing activists from each side has become common. The situation grows worse as militia members grow increasingly bold in their attacks on each other as they realise the National Guard cannot contain them. We need to reinforce the region, but a question of whether we should try to hold the whole state or station our troops in central Indiana, where the clan has a far greater presence, or in the north where the SPA is based, is the question. Yeah, we're going to keep both sides under control. I'm not going to let them get away with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the demand repayment of war debts. So the United Kingdom incurred an enormous war debt. Yeah, we're going to reprimand you. An enormous war debt to us during the Weltkrieg. The debt has been inherited by Canada. Well, it's unlikely Canada could repay it right now. Demanding repayment will appease isolationists in Congress, whom we believe will join a political fringe if not appeased. And we'll dump you into there. Emmett T. Anderson, Lieutenant Governor of Washington State, was killed when he exited his home and two assassins exited their vehicle out front and gunned him down with 38 revolvers. Yeah, the state government can handle that. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, cool. There goes the United Baltic Duchy. Oh, Arkansas is now having fighting. Counter both. I'm not letting them get away with these blind disrespects. Gone with the wind. Well, let's see if Riga will be able to reclaim and re-establish the duchy or not. And there's a civil war in Siam that I called. It's not a very difficult win, you know. They have a civil war every single time you play it. Southern Democrat demands support. Canada refuses, of course they do. Let's go ahead and do reconciliation with Canada. Because I kind of want to be on their side. Mau Mau, the Jackals of Kenya. Who may or may not pop up in the future. Garther speaks to Hoover. I'll grant him support. November. We're in August. We're getting close. Wonder who actually replaces Herbert after 4 years. The Great Heat Wave's over. Who will win over here? Is it actually a close fight between them? I've never really actually paid too much attention. Nice. Oh, great. We'll take that. Reconciliation, but gains power to everyone else, really. I'm not going to bother with anything else at this current time. I'm just going to get some political power back from leaving that be. Plus, it's almost election time anyways. Mustafa Kemal shot and Royalist victory in Siam. Yankees win the World Series. Nice. Daniel Gurin. Never seen him before in my entire YouTubing career of playing HOI4. Who is he? Radsock? No, he's Radsock, but like what the... Like, where did that come from? French just pulled him out of thin air, really. At least having Oswald Mosley here is kind of preventing against, you know, random people like Tom Mann appearing. Shocking revelation. Oh, jeez. Well, there's the elections. Shocking revelation. Cool. And Kamak seizes power. The results are finally in from what has probably been the most ideologically contested presidential election of the United States has ever witnessed. And Herbert Hoover. He's back. 4 more years, boys. 4 more years. Despite the odds and thanks to the Republican and Democratic House members who backed him, Hoover will begin his 3rd term as President of the United States. Taking victory from the jaws of defeat, Hoover now governs a nation so angered by his victory that it is a powder keg ready to blow. One little mistake could spell the end of the Union. Ho ho ho. With Hoover's surprise victory in the 1936 election, riots have broken out across many of the American cities. Clashes between the police, SPA, Minutemen and Klan members are raging all across the United States. Many people have turned to the military in hopes they will be able to restore order. The future looks bleak for America. Don't worry, we need to get down here ASAP. We need to complete all these. Hoover's precious 2 terms as president saw a period of severe dust storms that greatly damaged the local wildlife, farmlands of American prairies. While the storms have slowed, much of the devastation caused by these storms still remains. Thousands of migrant workers move across the country looking for work. The tension between these migrant workers and local workers has led to massive fights, along with various unions attempting to push these workers out of their states. It's a good thing we got the military support. And of course, everybody's going to contest the results, aren't they? The Dust Bowl intensifies. Dust Bowl is perhaps the worst drought in North America in 1,000 years. It's plaguing the plain states for nearly 7 years, forcing thousands of families to flee the various states across the region. However, in recent days, the Dust Bowl has intensified across these plain states. Now, many around the country have called upon Hoover to act to solve the crisis. Oh, fantastic. Just what we need. More national spirits that completely hurt us. Homelessness was present before the Great Depression and was a common sight before 1925. However, most large cities built municipal lodging houses for the homeless, but the Depression exponentially increased demand. The homeless clustered in shanty towns close to free soup kitchens. Whilst this trend didn't start under Hoover, after his victory in 1928 and the collapse of the market the same year, the opposition began to call these expanded settlements Hoovervilles. Hoover's new direction. Government chaos will take the administration in direction. The so-called Hoovervilles have expanded across the country. Little the Hoover administration has done has ameliorated? I don't know what that word is. The problem is seen that these shantytowns are a permanent presence. Yay! More national spirits that hurt us. Woohoo! Tensions across the nation were already high enough, but with Hoover's nomination and subsequent victory on the 1936 Republican ticket, many across the nation are angry, wishing their preferred candidate had won the election. Wow. Yep, riots and lawlessness. Woohoo, we have got like 0 factories doing anything. Now, with the immediate backlash to Hoover's victory subsiding, we have begun to see mass demonstrations across the United States. Such demonstrations have inevitably led to complete anarchy in the Red Belt, Bible Belt, and Wheat Belt, regions that have descended into a new era of lawlessness. It seems that this year will be one that shakes America's very foundations. Oh, flippin' heck, man, we're reverting back to the Wild West here. Hoover was originally praised for the government works that he implemented, but as time went on, unemployment continued rising. Yep, so basically, Hoover's legacy has not been great. He's now a hated president. Great. Won a massive victory in 1928, running a return to normalcy campaign in the aftermath of the wealth and empowerment administrations. In 1932, Hoover barely won a victory, but with the assistance of the House and a split vote, beat a Democrat candidate by the slimmest of margins. Yay! Hoover is... He's not been inaugurated yet. Should be any second now. Oh boy, are we being crippled by horrible, horrible national spirits. Our pie is getting even worse. Oh, the only thing good here is the fruits of the open door, which is basically doing nothing, and the military support, which has given us a little bit of stability, even though we're on minus 61 anyways. Hoover. Hoover, Hoover, Hoover. Yay, the new year strikes as well. Let's just go into our construction. Yep, minus 23 on the construction speed. Minus 112 on factory output. That is absolutely amazing. Sorry, Alaska, we have bigger problems to deal with. Yep, sorry. We're too busy. Oh yes, we've got Act Quickly mission. Herbert Hoover has sworn in again as President of the United States of America today. President Hoover's inauguration speech called for calm in these times of difficulty and how we must not compromise our democratic values with radicals, left or right. Hoover is quoted as saying America's great social and economic experiment, noble in motive and far-reaching in purpose. Yes, we have to act quickly. Boom. That's going to instantly pass. Thank you. Right, left-hand side of the tree, working with the Democrats. While many cannot remember a time of Democrats and Republicans working together, it has happened before. The time has once again come to work with our traditional rivals. Otherwise, both our parties could be destroyed by the sea of radical far-left and far-right populists, along with those socialists in the Midwest. Oh, British rights have been restored in the legation cities. Good for you. So, how long is that mission thing sitting there for? And you hope for Alaska? We are loyal to America now and forever. Yeah, sorry Alaska, you ain't getting away from me. Appoint new judges. So we've got the Hoover riots, dealing with the riots, and we need the reasserting the establishment. So with the Hoover administration working more closely with conservative Democrats, many within the liberal wing of the Republican Party have begun calling out Hoover's inaction and perceived traitor status. Yes, we need to appoint new judges. Oh, the Don Caban Union's getting some help. Or the Don Republic, rather. Gleichschaltung. Russia announces our ambitions. You haven't done the focus I thought you were going to do. The Duma voted for Eurasian Union. Ah. Yes, the Duma. Secure Central Asia. Back over here. The Hoover riots. There is a great sense of urgency in the calls to crush these insurgencies as harshly as possible. The Director of the FBI, John Edgar Hoover, has suggested to President Hoover that the best way to solve the crisis of these riots is to begin targeting their organizers along with their suppliers. Ooh. Enemy of the East. That is not a good idea to start doing that. Hoover's third term. So, authorize the raids and expand the FBI. Oh great, socialists in Norway. Actually, I don't think that actually... Does that get them the war goal in Japan? No, just because they're cores, but then they can deal with Transamur. Oh, the Alash Republic is getting invaded. Not surprised in the slightest. Let's get the Curtis P-36 Hawk. Get some of them bad boys in the air. Yeah, we've still got a decent bit of party popularity, but still not great. Right. The Parma raids were the largest series of raids on our citizens in American history. These raids were ostensibly an attempt to crack down on leftist activists, particularly anarchists. Nearly a decade later, we are now facing a much more profound crisis of rioters, clan terrorist, anarchist terrorism, and even populist paramilitary groups. Secretary of the Interior, J. Edgar Hoover, has asked Hoover for the same freedom Wilson gave Palmer to end the crisis. Whether or not Hoover will authorise it is yet to be seen. Yes, it's getting authorised, alright. Let's start dealing with the riots. We need to deal with them as quickly as possible as well. Oh yes, we're going to be able to keep all of our field marshals as well, which is going to be great. When J. Edgar Hoover was authorised to do whatever needed to be done to end our current crisis, many within the executive branch noticed the lack of resources the FBI were suffering from. Yes, we're going to get that FBI emboldened. Look at that. Stability, and then they're getting rid of all the ideologies we don't want. They have to choose anything specific with the... choose anything but waiting for them to calm down because Hoover will be assassinated. We don't want that. The end of the first 100 days. Such promises are important for the President, however, with everything going on, little has been achieved by President Hoover. Hey, we're baby steps, guys. Baby steps. We've got the rights to deal with, then we just need to do the establishment thing. Reasserting the establishment. And I think we just have to start working down the right-hand side of the tree. Lots of wars are breaking out. The M3 Grant. We don't want to research you. Oh, can't. Wait, where's the Sherman? I guess that's a variation of the Sherman. Let's go ahead and grab you. Henry Modak. FBI will do this. Yes, MacArthur, you can restore order in DC. The Republican Party has been a centerpiece of American politics since the Civil War. Many of the radicals across the country wish to tear it apart and see the glorious Union shattered. However, there are ways to solve this problem. Now comes the question, how will the President Hoover solve this problem? I actually like that. That's a nice wee little national spirit little thumbnail. Finland's joined the Reichspakt. Wee Tommy gun. Obviously the FBI in the thing in the background. Font launches totalist coup in Patagonia. Alfredo Fonte. Oh. Oh, I see. Oh, right, so we got two choices here. So we can go the hard line or the home rule. Invite Haywood to talk, deny Long and Murray, and as long as you expand the FBI, they will get killed. Agree to all of Haywood's demands, and don't disarm the militia to avoid the Second American Civil War, or invite them. Then Haywood demands reforms, they're funding, the Murray proposing a thing. Radicals get upset and Mac demands a position as militias are being annoying. Accept everything, don't force militias to disarm, you will avoid the Civil War. Oh, let's go the hard line. So follow Marshall's advice, only work if, then reinforce in the Illinois in the next event. Cool. Right, embrace Knox's economics. Critical of wasteful government spending of Hoover administration along with the proposed plans of those by the radicals across the country. Okay, Knox is vice president. Balancing the federal government budget. Cool. President Hoover today announced that a hard line will be taken against ASPA strikers and indeed against any extremist force that seeks to further destabilise America. Yes, I think this is the route I want to do. Hoover takes no crap from anybody. So, if I'm remembering correctly, if we go back and have a look, follow the Marshal's advice. We will avoid this civil war and we will kill them all. The Spanish Civil War. I really hate when the music starts. I wish the music that I was listening to like paused briefly while the super event ones came on. Reinforce in Illinois. Resistance rising. Give them what they need. Yeah, give them what they need. Is there? Can I actually keep this open? Or is it timeout? Ah, time's out. All my days, Eurasian Union's been formed. Then in the event of cracking down on negotiating wages, negotiate. Eurasian Union. Oh my days. I might have to play as them sometime. Can't even pronounce that party like, but cool. Balancing the budget. Knox has made a name for himself as a crusading politician over the past decade, wishing to reform the federal government with his ideas about economics rather, I can't read. His first plan is to balance the federal budget, which would help deal with the years of wasteful spending on the part of Herbert Hoover. Knox will save us, that's what's going to happen. Can't wait to see what happens when they do that. I want to see what their focus tree looks like. Oh great, we got a threat close to home. Well, that's fine, we'll deal with them like we deal with everyone else, by death, killing them. Okay. I'll have a look at all that. I just want to make sure I'm getting this all right, so we'll open that back up again. Then an event on cracking down negotiating wages. Negotiate. Focus on the White League and give Mac more men next 2 events in the war we avoided. Alright. I trust you, game. Let's get military police. We're going to need it for all of our occupation later on. Yes, focus on the White Leagues. Focus on them. In the next 2 events, we need to give Mac what he needs. MacArthur's going to be leading an army to greatness as well. Increase presence requested. Yep, increases budget. No, we don't like you. And you don't like us, so... With businesses in the steel belt agreeing to pay workers more and the army continue to push back the red militias, an increasing number of workers are viewing the federal government as a more of a stable source of protection and income than the SPA. That's a beautiful win there. With it becoming clear that the outright revolt will not succeed, many SPA congressional leaders are listening to their more moderate wing and calling for calmness and an end to hostilities. Note that better conditions can still be negotiated for through Congress. Meanwhile in South, the NDWL is decimated, if not outright pacified, and it is likely time to pull all of our forces from the region. Staying longer would only incur hatred after a certain point, and George Marshall claims that the occupied states are exhausted, although he advises that we leave behind some men to protect black and allied regions. However, General Joseph McNary advises to pull out. Oh my days. Have we saved America? Oh my days. He's now the savior of America. The United States of America has been in a worsening political crisis for years. However, not anymore. President Herbert Hoover, seeing the situation, has been able to deal with the syndicalists of the Socialist Party, the populists of the American First Party, and nativists of the old Democratic Party. This expert political maneuvering has saved millions of lives, both those who are living and those who are yet to be born. God bless America. Annihilation has been avoided. Oh. Hoover. Hoover is the man. Syndicalism prevails in the Ukraine. What? What is happening? Syndicalism. 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 Maybe more syndicalism if they win. Syndicalism. Eurasian. Oh look. The what? The Syndicalist Intermarium. Yep. Well, we can say goodbye to that faction. That was short-lived. The idiots. So, can I do other things now? Back in business. 105. Oh. Oh, beacon of democracy. It says it'll be automatically bypassed. Every man a pot. While industrial America is bankrupt as farms across America that must deal with the aftermath of the Dust Bowl and the collapse of the farming industry. Yeah, we'll help deal with that. Oh, we've actually lost a few things, which is good. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave that episode there, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I shall be back very, very soon for another episode. Until next time, take care. Cheer, bye. Then now.